Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to today's lesson. As you see in the title of this video, today's lesson will be in texture. Now, texture is one of the most difficult things about drawing, whether you're trying to get rough, gritty texture, or creamy texture, or a smooth, sleek texture. There's a good technique for each one. Today's lesson will be in capturing very soft skin texture. And for today's lesson, we'll be using our Derwent HB, 2B, and 4B sketch pencils, and a shading stump, and a shading brush. Everything's so soft. It's so soft. Oh, are you guys still here? Why don't we get into the lesson today? Now the first step, we're just going to take our HB pencil and just do a gentle little shade over the entire face. We don't like to leave any kind of negative space or part of the paper showing, not unless you're doing something where you're trying to convey light. That's about one of the only circumstances that I'll leave any space blank without any kind of pencil shadings. And then we're just going to take shading stump and just give it a nice, soft, smooth coat all throughout the entire face. When doing shading and detailing, I always like to start with the lightest hue to the darkest, because you could always go back and make a light part dark. Not as easy when you're trying to make a darker part light. And that's pretty good right there. Okay, for me personally, I like to jump right into doing the eyes. I got a thing for the peepers. So we're gonna take our 2B sketch pencil and just go over the eyebrows, very, very thin. Just one. Then come over this one and pretty much the same thing. Just a small little shape right there. And then take our shading stump, blend that in a little bit so it runs nice and smooth. Like on the other side. Okay, now we're gonna go back to our HB pencil and put a little darkness just right there where you have the space between the bridge of the nose and the eye. Show a little depth right there. Take shading stump and shade that in a bit. Now our model today has very, very fair skin, so there's not going to be too much darkness around here. This is where our shading brush will come in handy, because you get a very, very smooth texture out of a shading brush. Let's go over to the other side. On this side, we have more of the bridge of the nose that actually comes down from there. See, you've got the light coming in from this way, so we have more shadow on this side, and that really brings out the shape of the bridge of the nose. This darkness will show some of the depth in the eye socket. Then we'll just take this and we'll just completely shade down just like we started off with, so things kind of blend together naturally. Now, still with our HB pencil, we're gonna go and color in a little pupil right there. Our subject has some light eyes, so we're not gonna be very dark. Right there. And again, right over here. And then we're gonna take our 4B pencil, which is the darkest shade we have, and put in the iris right there. And again, over on this side. Now, still with our 4B pencil, she's got some dark lashes, so we're gonna make some darkness right there for the lashes and give the eye that more depth and character. A little more down here for the lashes at the bottom. Since it's a little further away, you don't want to go too overboard with them, make them too detailed. This is a little more abstract. Again on this side. And right here, it's running right into where the hair is going to be sleeping over this eye. So stop right there where the hair will be overlapping. And just a little tad bit underneath. And now we have some more dimensioned eyes staring back at you. Now we're turning to our HB pencil. We're going to start over here and put a little more shade right here beyond where the hair kind of overlaps because it casts a slight shadow. So we're just going to make a little shadow there. Not too dark because, like I said before, this is a very, very fair skin texture. Let's take our shading stump and just start shading it out towards the center of the forehead. You see the shading stump just kind of takes the shade that we did and just drags it out a bit more. And then you could carry it over all across the drawing because that's the thing about getting soft texture. It just goes layer after layer after layer. And eventually you start to come off with a very, very soft, gentle, smooth texture. And now we're going to go over to this side and put a little bit more right here just to show the roundness of the forehead. Just put a small shade right there on this side. And do the same thing. Take the shading stump and just start dragging it more towards the center. And it gives it a natural roundness. Same on that side, and let's just shade it all the way down. There we go. And now we're just going to take our brush and give it a little quick swipe. And that'll blend everything in naturally and give it a nice little natural shape, the roundness. Now continuing with our HB pencil, I'm going to come right here to the bridge of the nose and get an indentation there. And it's going to start coming out. Look how it rounds around to a slight indentation. A little small one, not like us older folks that are in our mid-30s to have much deeper indentions. Now we're just going to shade it. And take our pencil again and run across that same path. Like that, just again. Take our stump. Follow that same shape, just follow it all the way to the hairline. And then we could just shade all the way down again, just to make sure we're staying consistent, to make it look a little natural. Then right here we have a little indentation right where the nostril is going to meet the cheek. So we're going to give that a little shade just to give it that depth. And then we're getting right here. Let's take our stump and bring it out a little bit. Because with the light coming in here, you're going to get a little shadow off the nostril. Really makes it stand out more. And then we're just got a little shade right here down this nose, down the bridge of the nose. And down there again. And now we get a little more shadow right here where the hair is, where the cheek is coming from the side of the hair. With our shading stump again. And just follow it all the way down so it fades nicely. And you could just go over the whole thing again. Okay, now we're making our way down to the jawline and the neck. And remember how the light is coming in here from the left, so the shadow is going to be off here to the right. And over here on the left is going to be a lot lighter because that's where our light is coming from. So we're going to make the shadow down here off to the right. And make it a little darker right there where the jaw is coming in from the hair. The chin right there. And once again, we're going to take our shading stump and take all this and just drag it over to the other side so it kind of naturally blends with the shape of the neck here. And notice how I keep on going over with the shading stump after just about every little piece that I do. It's because when you're bringing out this kind of soft texture, it goes layer by layer by layer by layer. It's very time consuming, but in the end you come up with some very nice, soft, smooth texture. Let's go a little darker in there because we're getting a shadow being cast by her chin. Let's take the stump again. And let's just take it over here from the right and just drag it over to the other side. And let's take our brush and give it a quick little brush. And that gets rid of a lot of the strokes, because when you want this soft texture, you really don't want a lot of strokes in there because that makes it too rough. So we always go back to our brush and just brush gently across your canvas. Sweet baby Jesus. Either we took a huge leap forward or I am high as a kite right now. Actually, the huge leap we did for a couple reasons. One, because we don't want the runtime to be too long. We want to keep these videos at a marginal runtime. And also, no matter where you're doing the face, or the torso, or the legs, or no matter what, you're using the same technique, and we don't want these videos, these lessons to become redundant to where we're doing the same thing over and over again. So if you just put the camera right here, down here where I'm working, you'll see I'm using the same technique down here as I did up there, up top. We're shading the darker parts. And then we're going over with the shading stump and dragging it over to the lighter part so we get a nice smooth transition of color, or not color, but tone. And it gives a nice smooth texture and gives it some good shape. It gives it a nice three-dimensional tone. Again, get your HB sketch pencil, and this time go a little bit darker. Once again, shading stump. Just drag that over. And then of course, to get rid of some of those strokes and make it a little smoother, take a shading brush, go over it again. We could go over the whole thing if you want, just to keep it all in the same tone. And repeat. And when you're getting the soft texture like this, that's all you're really doing. You go layer by layer. You put a layer of pencil, and then take your stump and shade that in there. And then repeat again with the brush. And it's a pretty simple lesson, but it just takes up a whole lot of time when you want really soft, gentle texture like this. You know, if you're going for rougher texture, then yeah, you don't need to put the layers so gently. You could really get into there with the pencil. But since we're going with a much softer texture, you really just gotta take it one layer at a time. And another jump. So we're just gonna take our 4B pencil now, and we're gonna start just coloring the trim around her outfit right there. It's gonna be super dark. And There might be some of you out there that were thinking, hey, I wanted to see, how he got the texture in the hair or the dimension of her physique. But trust me, those are videos that are later to come. Today's video was strictly on texture, so that's what we focused on today. But if you keep following my channel, then we will see more videos on how to do hair, dimension, physique, and all kinds of other things. But we're just gonna quickly wind this one down so we can get this lesson over with. Okay, winding down to the end here, we're gonna give her outfit kind of a lacy kind of nylon texture. So we're gonna take our 2B pencil and just put this part there kind of dark because it's kind of hidden there behind the strap and her arm. And then down here behind the seam, we'll make that pretty dark also because it's away from the light. Take our stump. And shade that in there. And now on this side of the seam, I'm gonna go lighter. I'm gonna start off just a little there, a light shade with your 2B pencil. This one's a little bit darker than the HB, lighter than the 4B. And then take the shading stump and do like we did before and just kind of drag that inward. And see on this side, since we have a little bit of a curve right there, it's kind of a round part. We're going to make it dark just on this thin part here. And as it comes around to the front, it'll get lighter to give it a nice little round dimension. And we'll go over that with the shading stump. Maybe take our brush and give it a good brush there. Smooth out those lines left by the shading stump. Okay, and there we have it. But your work is never really done until it's done. Even after you put these final little brush strokes on it, you may see some parts on there you might want to just touch up a little bit, give it a little more definition. Or you don't have to. It's your drawing. Do whatever you like. But I just want to add a little more there, and down there, a little more on the collarbone, get a little more depth around the shoulder. Right in there. Just gives it a little more dimension. And that will conclude today's lesson. Thank you so much for watching today's lesson. If you guys like this video and want to see more like it, go ahead and click the subscribe button and feel free to share this video with your friends. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook. My usernames are right there on screen. For commissions, my email is in the description of this video. Just be sure to put the word commission in the subject line. And until next time, so soft.